and Hakuo taking turns.
Absolutely the case. You're seeing a bunch of tanks taken off the table for Liquid. Also interesting, they're banning away the Gangplank. I know many teams would love to first pick the champion, but they're going to ban it away. Lolo's not going to play it, neither can Seraph, which makes me think
Looks more and more
Vladimir.
Gnar-like.
Yeah, it's true. Gnar can just kind of hop out of the matchup, but no, not anymore. Gonna get banned out. It still feels like I think Liquid will just love to first pick Vladimir, as they tend to for Phoenix. Like when they win, it's
definitely
him
worthy
playing
of a first pick in the current state of the game. Vladimir across the world having a lot of success. We'll see though, because some teams put a lot of importance on getting a comfortable jungler whenever you do have a new jungle player.
That's true.
Maybe a comfortable AD carry as well. It's funny because this is the first time I heard the crowd talking about Champion Select, discussing it before the match.
Oh, nice.
And they were all like, yeah, Envy, they just have to ban Sivir. Jhin Sivir. It's going to be amazing.
Well, they've got to consider that one. Of course, we know Lot is happy to play the champion himself. He's very good at it. There's actually a lot of high priority champions. Sivir is actually banned more than she's picked at this point, so I actually forget that she exists half the time as a high priority champion, but actually is going to be the Echo grabbed up as a potential flex. I've seen mid Echo a couple of times, but actually going top lane first. I don't see this very much.
There were a bunch of top lane bans, so we're assuming that this is going to be Echo 4 Lorlo top lane payment, but very well could be flexed up. Meanwhile, though, Envy doesn't look like they want to give anything away, and they're actually going to toe the meta line here, it looks like, and just pick up first rounders for support and jungle.
Yeah, no big
very,
shock
very
there.
common. I say Rek'Sai is probably the most common. Very closely followed by Gragas, though.
Ooh, well, they're actually not going to go for the Sivir after all. Jhin's going to play a champion who's got a very similar name to him. Jhin's going to be in there. Phoenix does get his Vladimir after all, and I think Liquid's getting a lot of what they'd like.
I really like when you pick Jhin with double AP, because Jhin likes to build that flat attack damage, or flat armor penetration build, and it de-incentivizes your enemies from starting off with a lot of armor if both your solo laners are AP.
Yeah.
And, you know, Echo is kind of mixed there with the Trinity Force build, but still definitely going to have to respect the varied damage profile here that Team Liquid are already showing.
Totally agree. You could even see more magic damage coming into the jungle. Nidalee, Elise, and Gragas, probably the next most common junglers to see. So, yeah, a very magic damage heavy profile likely here for Liquid.
Speaking of profiles, we did look up Arcsecon's profile, and there was a jungle Cho'Gath on there, so there's some more magic.
Oh yeah, no, there's plenty. Diana is like the next step as well if he's not playing the meta junglers.
Yeah, honestly though, if you are into a new role on the LCS stage, you'll probably just go with what's meta at the moment in the LCS, and that would be the Gragas if we assume he just toes the line. There it is. What you were getting excited for, though, the Kassadin did come through for Ninja, trying to play into the Vladimir. We've seen that a couple times, and he can have kill pressure and he can snowball, but Vladimir can also, you know, rush that Spirit Visage and take over wave control.
The way I like to think about Kassadin in this is there's lots of ways to consider counter picks if you want to consider Kassadin counter picks. Some are lane counters, right? Some, for example, Kennen into Gnar is one that I think exists, where you're going to bully the first 10 to 20 minutes of the game and you have lane advantage and, you know, the opponent's life is difficult. Some is more of a strategic counter where it's like Kassadin's main weakness is a bad laning phase. Well, guess what? Vladimir's 1 through 6 is pretty crap as far as bullying you out. So Kassadin has license to free farm and then be a mid-game Kassadin with full CS and gets to run around and do Kassadin things that normally you don't get to do that, and that tends to be very powerful. And look at this, it's actually a Malzahar picked up alongside the Kassadin. Now we've seen a little bit of Malzahar top from Splice. Wonders played it. I don't feel like Kassadin's good into Echo, so I think that's going to be that Mal's top. And that's going to be all kinds of interesting.
Yeah, very curious as to where the junglers are going to start off now. Because Malzahar, early on especially, very vulnerable to ganks. Auto pushes with a lot of his spells, and also does not have his own escapes. So if you do put him in the top lane, which they are not doing currently,
they're going to swap in a couple seconds, I'm pretty
he's
sure.
very vulnerable to those. But yeah, Seraph is going to do Seraph things either way. And Kassadin into the Echo.
All right, that's interesting. I feel like both the champions are good into Vladimir specifically. Malzahar has the lockdown and all the damage to kill him through the pool and everything, but Cassid on top is new.
Yeah, you're talking about difference between laning phase and later stages of the game where you get into team fights and stuff. And later stages, obviously, Malzahar is great, just ult him and try and layer it with the silence as he's trying to charge into your team. But early on, Vladimir's just fine farming up in the mid lane alongside Malzahar. The hardest part about Malzahar is just getting the last hits early on.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can do it. We are getting ourselves into game 1. Hashtag TL win, hashtag NV win. For which squad do you think is going to take the game and take the series? A best of 5 here in front of us. The gauntlet has to be run now. The North American regional qualifiers begin as Liquid takes on Team Envy, and it's time to hit the rift. Got a nice crowd here in the Battle Theater. Thank you very much for joining us here on this Saturday. Keep in mind, I love you too. Thank you. To keep in mind, we will have...
You've come a long way.
I have come a long way. I said thanks last time someone said that. I've become more gracious in my old age, as I'm still 29 like before.
I remember it clearly.
Was it actually with you?
Yes.
Oh, nice. But yeah, keep in mind, of course, whoever wins will have to play tomorrow against Cloud9. So if you want to keep cheering on the team that wins, show up in 24 hours. It'll happen again.
Yeah, because whichever team does win is going to need some extra support. Cloud9 and the rest of the gauntlet are looking very, very scary. Step number 1, though, in front of them right now, and that would be game number 1. As Lod said, he wanted to go 3-0 and make this a quick series.
Yep.
Let's see if they can get off to that start. Infernal Drake does kind of accelerate the pace because it's definitely a snowbally Drake and, might cause some early action.
Yeah,
we'll see if they can beat the speed run that Unicorns of Love put in earlier.
Woo.
They were done within, I don't know, what, just over 2 hours, roughly?
Extremely fast, and crazy that they were that fast in ending their series, and their game 2 actually looked like they were going to lose because they were behind.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look here. Both junglers will start out on the top side. Maybe they make return visits up to the... I mean, Gragas is one of those junglers that can very easily gank just off of blue side camps. Doesn't need the red buff. Arc Second could go for an early visit up top and try and punish Kassadin. Problem is, Echo probably will push Kassadin in anyway, and he'll just try and play defensively.
Absolutely the case. So we have very normal stuff right here. Top lane is leashing, dual lanes taking, Crux and Prompt, etc. We'll have to see how the lanes themselves actually play out. I'm curious to see what Seraph is doing specifically with his build. Standard precision, Thunderlords, that whole deal. Scaling CDR blues, it looks like, and gonna be AP Kassadin. Not looking like it's anything too crazy.
I mean, your runes and stuff wouldn't give away too much. You could technically go, a bit more beefy build, more tanky build for the top lane. I know Voyboy's super big fan of taking assassins up there and just building them all semi-tank.
Sure.
But I think that they will need this extra split push threat and kill pressure from Lorlo. Lorlo's done a very good job this season in developing into being a very strong split push style player.
Yeah. I think he's definitely been very good this year as a player, and we'll see if he can continue this sort of level of moderate dominance against Seraph here. And, what's actually now his team, I think, being an underdog with the recent Liquid roster changes, I think it does fall pretty heavily on Lorlo, as well as Phoenix to be the big ones to win the game.
Yeah, if you think about now from Team Liquid's perspective, Lorlo is actually one of the veterans technically on the team with all the roster swaps that they have been having.
Yeah, he and Matt are the second most experienced players tied on the team with this being their first year.
Definitely going to attract some jungle attention though. Seraph is one of the top laners with the highest jungler presence of their own junglers. Proc's been spending a lot of time up there, and we'll see if he is able to make his way. Meanwhile, in the first 3 minutes, though, we did see a lot of fighting over both bottom side jungle sort of semi-objectives. The Scuttle Crab, it was won by Proxen, but basically both teams got information that both junglers were down there during the time.
Ooh. Sun to Jhin, final shot comes through, good dodge by Hakuho, and jumps over, but here comes the headbutt Pulverize. A quick trade back in, and well, Jint is definitely injured, but Hakuho lost plenty of health too. And Proxen's saying, if everyone's low, I want to show up to the party.
Yep.
Does get behind the ward. Here comes the attempt. Can he flash knock him out of Jint? The flash Q, Ignite is on. Not good for the Jhin. He's running away, but the attacks are still there. A couple more auto attacks, but a nice Pulverize by Matt saves the day, and Liquid's AD carry walks out alive.
Yeah, great job by Matt, staying calm in that gank and spacing out the headbutt to get the jungler out of there, and then holding on to this Pulverize to get all 3 knocked up. Meanwhile, top lane, Arc Second is going to make his debut.
Well, he's going to have to make this one happen pretty quickly. Lolo's running out of health inside the minion wave. He's got to be a little bit careful, but Seraph now does not really have any way of making this one out. He's got Flash. He could. Doesn't go for the outplay. There's the auto tech. There's first blood. Arc Second is going to show up. And it's going to be nice for Liquid. They're the first kill coming through for the new jungler.
There you go. Team Liquid, new sub. Get him in there. And first blood, first LCS. Well, it's not LCS technically game, but...
I mean, is it though?
It's on an LCS stage.
LCS teams? I don't know. Yeah. Is it technically LCS, Kobe? You decide. Hashtag LCS. I don't know.
No,
we got nothing here. We got nothing. I screwed it up. I screwed it up.
This is its own tournament.
We're moving on.
Meanwhile, the Farm Fest mid lane. We set this up and playing out pretty much exactly as they would expect. Ninja actually getting a pretty good push there. I think that Phoenix will be just fine CSing under his turret. I'll see if he able to get all of them.
That's actually an insane stat. 2016 summer, 20 unique champions picked for Seraph. That's actually ridiculous.
Sometimes that's a really good thing if you can perform really well with all those champions. Sometimes it's someone trying to figure out what's good for the team and find out what is going to have success. 20 champions is definitely insane. I know plenty of ranked players at the top of the ladder that have not even played 20 yeah, exactly 5.
Their mastery score is like 42. It's like, yeah, these same champions, they're all level 7.
All right, Proxen gonna track Arc Second and Matt here. You can see the support and junglers trying to work on that synergy already. That's one of the most important things for pro play, going to ward together. Safety in numbers, and they did get some deep wards there in Envy's side of the jungle.
Yeah. I mean, it has helped Liquid not get ganked too badly, but you're kind of watching these matchups, and even despite the first blood, Seraph is actually smashing this laning phase right now. I did not expect Cassidy to be good into Echo, but whether it's Lolo not knowing the matchup or Seraph knowing it's a counter, it's actually a pretty substantial farm lead.
I mean, I feel like Cassidy's pretty good into a lot of the AP melees. Because you get to use your shield plus your auto attack reset really effectively.
True.
But yeah, and now he's got control of the minion wave, and he's hit that sweet level 6 for Cassidy as well.
He's now invincible.
Yeah, exactly. To take away a lot of the threat for ganks, plus you have your own kill pressure. The main difference, though, is that Seraph uses teleport, so that's also going to help out your CS numbers. Trying to get back there from the death on his gank. We'll see, though, if he has to play more scared of Arc Second, as the jungler has also hit level 6.
No, Arc Second and Proxen cross paths. They know what's going on. They're both in the northern jungle right here. But here comes the gank attempt towards Ninja. He goes to make sure he wasn't going to get body slam flashed. I think it was the right choice. It's the shorter cooldown. Lolo tries to trade up with Seraph using the shield, but you can see that Seraph is very good at picking his fights, and he just disengages by the time Lolo's shield would come in. And does not get away from the passive. Quick trade of blows back and forth. Once again, we have this sort of 9 minion difference with them trading blows very heavily. Seraph is out of potions. Lolo's chugging through his corrupting potion himself. Another combo comes in. They get the knockup. Great job by Hako to block the deadly flourish. Very smart by him. Goes up in time. And that's the fun thing is playing Alistar into Sivir is you can pretty much guarantee pulverize no matter what.
All right, Lolo has access to his ultimate, also has his flash.
There's the first flash. Nicely timed. Actually gets away from Proxen. That could have been really scary. And now Arcsecond's going to turn it back around. Damage onto this Rek'Sai. Good. Ooh. Unlucky. Explosive cast sends him the wrong way. Proxen able to waddle to safety, but no, they're going to go back here for this one. Trying to burn him down. It's actually going to happen. Wow, Liquid pulling the trigger. Oh. Here comes the re-engage for Seraph, and he takes him out. Lorlo, I think, didn't have mana. No, it was on cooldown. But Arcsecond takes him out anyway. 2 more kills. And look at this. Best jungle Liquid's ever had. 2-0-1 Arcsecond.
Well, he is off to a good start. I mean, did flub up the ultimate a little. Let's see the chase here, though, because this is the flash on the unburrow here from Lorlo.
Yeah.
Really good job from him. And then the re-engage here should be pretty clean. Arcsecond gets the body slam into the auto even. Knows he doesn't have flash to get out of there, but a little bit misplaced on the ultimate. They chase it down anyway, though, and grab the kill. And then the second one is actually a choice here. This is Team Liquid going for the chase. Seraph turns it around. It's Lorlo deciding they want to go for this. But how many times have we seen LCS players flash after there's already an auto started from one of the players? You have to flash. If you want to do that, you have to flash into Fog of War, and then that can work. However, we've seen so many people also burn flashes when dying like that.
Yeah.
Trying to flash away from melee spells or auto attacks.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for like that last second body slam that Arcsecond had that pushed him down actually away from the wall, he would have actually had time to flash before those last autos came in. So some tight timing. I did want to correct one thing. Lorlo's ult was on cooldown actually. It wasn't a mana issue. It was still down from getting back to lane. Instead of TPing, he ulted, so it was down for a little while. Wasn't able to do it to save himself, and it still meant positive kills though. Liquid 3-1 all in the top lane. It's all been about Lorlo versus Seraph. That's where all the kills have been.
Yeah, I mean, Arcsecond and Lorlo versus
Sure, of course. Seraph
Seraph.
Roxanne.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, the story has changed here.
Finds Ninja, gets some damage, pushes them towards the turret. Here comes Matt with a great flash pulverize into the headbutt, and Ninja's caught up, but he's staying alive. Matt's running out of health. He's not level 6. One more hit, he'll do it, and Lot gets the final attack, but here comes the re-engage. It's too much AoE. This could be a tragedy now for Liquid, but they're getting a couple back and forth. The trade kills still come through, and looks like it's actually +2 Liquid, getting the advantage, including a triple kill for Jint.
And it's a massacre. Team Liquid clean up on the bottom side. Matt goes in to get Ninja under the turret. Ninja has to blow all of his summoners. He ghosted in. Jin really gets a clean up here. So we talked about, you know, Arcsecond starting off really hot. Now there's a bunch of kills on the other sub here for Team Liquid. The subs actually have almost all of the kills so far. Arcsecond, though, waiting on the pink ward right there. There it is. The Ninja has to flash and ghost to try and get out of there. Even though Matt isn't level 6, survives for a long time off of the heal from Jin. And then trying to escape that turret dive. Envy just get blown apart here. Phoenix heading down from the mid lane, cuts off the escape, and they got 4 off of that.
So rough stuff. We have a 2,000 gold lead now for Liquid. Only 11 minutes in. You can see Lorlo trying to push the wave in. Seraph smartly TPs to the minion to make that push not go quite as fast.
Now, the early game has gone very well for Team Liquid thus far. However, one of the other things we're looking at for this team in the Gauntlet is how are they going to deal without having Dardoch as their shot caller, because that was the other big role that Dardoch did fill for the team. I mean, we've seen previously in the LCS what Team Liquid looks like without Dardoch, and they were a little bit more lost towards the middle and end games. Not as decisive. So now it's going to be the question of, can Team Liquid turn this early lead into some vision wars? Well, they've got jungle pressure.
They found a lot more CC as well. Proxy's going to get rid of that. Nice shot by Jay. That's going to be enough damage. Yes, it will. Arcsecond with another kill to his name. 3, 1, and 4. Envy just cannot catch a break. Here comes the play for the first Infernal Drake.
All right, it looks like it should be a pretty easy secure for Team Liquid to pick this one up. They aren't even bringing Jin over from the bottom lane, and there's going to be no contest from Envy. So Infernal Drake on top of it all. We preface this by saying Infernal Drake could cause early action, and it's very snowballing. Oh my goodness, mid lane though.
Phoenix might die for this one. The Malefic Visions is on, trying to heal the W. It's away, and Lorlo shows the save of the day. And now it's the re-engage. Ninja's going to run out of health. He's going to drop down. Phoenix survives it all. He's got 1,000,000 MR, just doesn't take enough damage.
Oh
Liquid turning it around again.
Goodness, Vladimir things. That's why this champion is first pick so often.
100 magic.
Now they've got all 5 members in the mid lane. This is a very, very easy power spike to start snowballing now. They take so much damage off this mid lane turret. Both mid lane and I believe bottom lane was taking a little bit. Not so much bottom lane, but mid lane definitely softened up here. So first turret gold is still on the table, remember. That is another very important objective if they want to continue snowballing. But look at this play from Phoenix. Vladimir, he goes offensive right here. Most people would run away under their turret very scared, but he knows he has his pool to rely upon. Comes back in after the charge up there for the second Q, so he has the extra healing, and he's able to turn it around with good communication with Lorlo on the roam. Team Liquid getting another very big victory here early on.
Plus 317 for that empowered Q, and the Hemoplague, of course, helping quite a bit. So 10-3. Plus the Infernal Drake, 2,500 gold. Definitely still quite sizable. The thing is, though, for it being 10-3, I feel like I would expect the gold to be higher. At least just a little bit. So Envy at least are keeping up in farm. Still, obviously, not exactly like Envy's winning by any means, but I think it's still within reach. But it would be, of course, a bit difficult, as Liquid are just making good choices after good choice.
Oh, yeah. This game definitely still in reach. Plus, it is also a best of 5, so this is just the first game of the series. Right now, Envy obviously going for the Raphael to try and get that onto the Caston and on Seraph. So he'll be a split pushing threat with the assassination potential. and his teleport is not up currently, but Lorlo's is. So Team Liquid at the moment do have that global advantage as they go for the invading on the opposite side of the map, and they've got plenty of wards down there as well.
Yep, so you think it's going to be pretty good for Liquid here. You can see sort of the blue vision around the map right now. Gromp revealed, they can kind of start tracking where Sivir and Braum are going, but now Lorlo's in a bit of a hot situation there. Ulted, gonna go for the shield. Does not get silenced, ults back, but he's running out of health. Sarah's gonna join the fray as well. That's gonna be the kill. Now Phoenix in the middle of 3, looking to deal the damage. I think he might run out of HP, but heals back up from the hemo play, gets knocked up. Dangle Pool into the power Q, gonna get it in time. Yes, he can. Heals up. Here's the flash chase, and the kill comes through. Now Arc's gonna turn it back around. Last shot comes through, and another kill as Proxen goes down 4-1 and 4. Highest KP, most kills in his team. Arc second, hard carrying Liquid.
Much needed win there for Team Envy, though, as they were able to get 2 kills out of that, take down both solo laners. They knew that Phoenix did not have any summoners left after the last fight he tried to clean up, so no flash there. And Phoenix trying to go 1v3, was able to get some Envy summoners, actually, in the 1v3, trying to clean up after Lorlo got taken down. But the extra kill does go over to Team Envy, and they get a little bit extra gold. Look at the beginning here as Lorlo is going to take the one-on-one with Proxen, and Ninja turns it into the 1 versus 2. See here, Lorlo is going to ult back for as much health as he can get, but doesn't get the stun on the parallel convergence, which might have bought him a little bit more time. Yeah. Phoenix, though, trying to come clean up. He realizes after that flash from Malzahar, there's no way he's getting another kill out of this, and tries to run into his turret. Another flash from Seraph, and then both arc seconds. Turret shot was already in the air, so that one's going to connect no matter what. So that meant that he was going down, regardless of Gragas' ultimate pushes him out.
Lorlo stays to get the stun, to get the shield, but he's running out of HP. And not enough cooldowns left for Envy. He's going to be able to survive with his life.
Oh, Arc Second is pretty deep in the enemy jungle here. Isn't going to get stunned up from the Braum passive, though.
Will be a turret kill, and now Ninja going to be in a bit of hot water, but he regains Hakuho. Quick knockup. Here comes the curve call, looking for a bit more damage. Not sniping Ninja till just now, and it's going to be the kill pick to Phoenix as the final bit of damage. Seraph in the back lines can't really find anyone to kill, though. He's going to get, nope, doesn't get rooted up, but he walks into Arc Second, the Rift Block. Trying to get him away from this one, jumps over, and he's going to survive. Arc's going to walk away. So far, just the 1 for 0, but here comes the flash chase. Looking for it, can't quite kill off Hakuho, but it does mean priority in the mid lane. Liquid looking to knock down mid lane tier 2.
Very hectic fight right there with a couple of odd flashes, but they are going to try and finish off this turret as they continue the siege. One more minion wave moving up the mid lane. It's not going to arrive in time, though, and they decide to pull off as the respawn timers are very short still.
Yep.
Take a second to calm down here, because that was a very frenetic team fight.
Yeah, frenetic is exactly the right word for it. This game is super high paced. We've got 1 kill per minute. Vocabulary is awesome. I love it, Kobe. Thank you. But yeah, a super, super hectic game. And again, it remains, I still want to say somewhat close. Now it's 3,000. This is actually growing a little bit now. If it was, maybe 2K not too long ago, now it's 3. This is starting to get a bit more out of hand as Liquid continue to find bigger and bigger advantages. And we're only 17.5 minutes in. It's kind of ridiculous how much has actually happened so far.
Honestly, this is a good welcoming game here for Arc Second, and it looks like he's feeling just at home here on the Gragas. Continually making plays. This is why, Gragas at the moment is a lot of the pro players' favorite champion. Extremely fun to play early on, using these flashes to create plays for your team. And he's only died the 1 time now, already rushing out to the Frozen Heart, actually, which is going to allow more cooldown reduction for more of those. Plays as he walks into a ward.
Silence, but not ulted. Ninja doesn't go for the big play. Matt got to get unburrowed on, doesn't seem to really care as Proxen goes back to his own jungle. We see different lane assignments now. Phoenix has put himself into the bot lane. It's the 1-3-1. Lolo from the top lane, once again fighting off Seraph, who doesn't seem to really need much magic resist, just the Spectre's, the Mercury Treads rather, that's it. And going Rod of Ages into what I assume to be a Lich Bane second.
So. And he's trying to max out his Null Sphere second to get a bigger magic damage shield for these trades with Lorlo. He did max up the Force Pulse for wave control to try and split there. Now he definitely does have that assassination potential, plus that teleport we talked about is available. We'll see, though, because a lot of vision work has been put in here by Team Liquid. Teleports come through.
Okay, here comes the play. Knockup from Hakuho. Matt in the front lines. Ulti pop, running out of health, but he's going to stay alive for now. Quick 2-man knockup on Hakuho and Lod. The knock in from Gragas, and that's going to be a dead Braum. The re-engage on Lolo doesn't mean too much. He's going to stay alive on this high magic resist Echo. Getting whittled down, but he's going to survive the Voidlings. Only 100 HP left on him. TP is down. Ulti actually won't do much healing for him anymore. It's been too long since he took the damage.
You
gotta disengage.
Gotta watch out for that damage over time here from Malzahar. The pool on the ground, a lot of people are stepping in the pool. There were also 3 Voidlings up, as well as the Malefic Vision. So a lot of extra damage given, even though Team Liquid secured the kill. Envy get priority in mid lane and are going to take some territory back for themselves. Now, that is not the first turret gold, so it's not going to be that huge boost, but it is going to open up the map a little bit.
All right, looks like they're going to be okay for now. Mid lane traded finally back. Of course, Liquid did get first turret gold, and the lead is actually getting bigger and bigger. Liquid pretty good at closing out the games that do have leads in, and this seems to be probably another likely situation for Liquid here.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of those main questions we are thinking about. Trying to stack up the dragons is definitely going to help them do that. Mountain and Infernal, really good combination here.
Yeah.
Puts a lot of pressure as they transition over to the Baron area. As of right now, though, Lorlo going to play a little bit safe. Doesn't want to give up his life for this turret, but wants to delay it as long as he can.
This is still a good play from Envy, though. You're seeing that you're keeping their heads in the game. They're playing it very intelligently. They knew Liquid was probably looking for this Drake, and they put a lot of effort towards the top side of the map. They're able to trade a turret for a dragon as a losing team. There's almost never a better play you can make when you're behind, so I have to give props for Envy for what looks a bit simple, but is actually a very, very smart choice, and many teams have missed this opportunity.
Seraph going to go in for a pretty good exchange here on Phoenix as the split pushing is taking its toll on the turret, and that will be another one here for Team Liquid as they continue to snowball.
Yep.
Envy having a hard time getting this game back under control. Need to switch priorities now to defensive vision as they're losing all of their outer turrets. Then you try and catch somebody out as Team Liquid are more naturally now going to spread out and kind of expose themselves. So it is up to the Kassadin to come around for a flank. You know, they do have Sivir, they have extra speed, and Jhin is, yes, a very good early game champion, but is vulnerable to a Kassadin. You know, can be closed on pretty quickly. And we'll see if Team Liquid have any hiccups or if they are able to, you know, group up and push that down.
Sure, and to talk about Jhin being weak to a Kassadin potentially, he did not go for the more risk-averse build. He went for the full Duskblade. He went for the higher damage option. Could have easily gone Mild on Morty's, but no one would fault him for that choice. But instead, opts away from the MR. He's doing the build we've been seeing from Jin's more recently, which is going for a rapid-fire cannon or a static shiv as the third item, getting the crit and attack speed multipliers in instead of getting the third armor pin.
I think that this is 90 times out of 100 the better way to go.
Yeah.
And this, the only thing it does require is trusting your teammates, right? Because they do have a Gragas and an Alistar that are there to peel the Kassadin. So he's just trusting that, yes, they will be able to do their jobs. I don't have to worry about defensive items. You know, I'll have to worry about killing the Kassadin after Alistar knocks him up.
Sure, yeah, and it helps kind of round out the build as well, because many times you'll hear people talk about the armor pen Jhin build and say, oh, once you get a bunch of armor tanks, you front load, you get a frozen heart in front of his bullets and you're fine. But if you actually start critting your normal attacks and your damage actually gets a bit better DPS wise, it starts to look a bit better against these tanks. So it'll round him out quite nicely as well. And when you've got people like Hakuo and Proxen kind of tank the shots, it'll work better. Proxen going for a more damage-focused build. Also keep in mind, he's finished the Mechanic Hydra as his first major combine after the Cinder Hulk, so not as much utility. Hakuo is, of course, getting the Locket for himself. That's going to be useful. Double AP on both these sides as far as the solo laners are concerned.
I would expect Matt actually to go that route as well.
Yeah, that's what those Ruby Crystals are for, almost definitely. Just slower on the build. Hakuo a little bit richer.
Here comes the switch over to the Baron Pit that we were prefacing before. Vision being laid. Matt trying to get into that red quadrant so that they can get to that bait. Always got to respect the Jhin as well.
Looking for the play onto Lots. They're running out of help. There comes the knockout party, and they've already picked off one. A nice explosive cast, and Hakuo's in a bad spot as well. Dies to the Duskblade trigger. Nicely done. Jhin now unstoppable. 5-0 and 3. Liquid continue to find several more kills than their opponents.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to try and take another turret as well. Split push is going in their favor. On the other side with the Vladimir, Phoenix has teleport available, so Team Liquid looking to get 2 turrets, each on opposite side of the map right now. Top and bottom taking some damage, and Seraph slowly getting whittled down and forced out.
All right, yeah, pushed away. Phoenix has been actually continuing to make headway on this side lanes. No one's been able to stop him. You were seeing earlier in the game, Envy looked for the plays on Phoenix. There were several gank attempts None of them paid off. In fact, one of them was a 0 for 2 as they got picked off on the way out. And Phoenix now been able to sit in the bottom lane. Bot lane outer died because of him. Bot lane tier 2's almost dead because of him as well.
Yep. All right, let's take another look at this collapse as Lod very far up versus Lorlo, and they had no vision. Lorlo almost takes care of him all by himself. Then the rest of the team comes in, and there's definitely going to be no escape. And Team Liquid with a pretty good cleanup here. I mean, yes, there were a lot of questions, you know, floating around with Team Liquid with all the roster squads they're doing, you know, bringing in all these subs, and people are like, oh yeah, it almost kind of feels like a clown car. Who else is in the Team Liquid roster, right? They've got this sub, now we got a mid lane jungle sub. But honestly, there are also a lot of questions for Team Envy. We haven't seen them play for so long.
Yeah.
And Team Liquid definitely off to a very good start for them.
Yeah, it's actually the new guys who have the best statistical score lines on Liquid, right? You've got a 12 KDA Gragas and you know, 8 out of 15 no deaths Jint. Like, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, which is very good for the confidence of these guys moving into the rest of the best of series. Team NVO definitely not out. They have played long series before. And it doesn't look like Laud is going to get his very quick 3-0, but he's definitely willing to work for it as well.
I mean, he might get the 3-0, just not the way he was hoping. We'll see. There's of course a lot. I'm just saying, it's just a joke. A lot of time still to go. Phoenix now going to ult it up by Ninja, hoping for a bit of teammate support as Seraph joins the fray as well. There's Vladimir in a 1v2, likely to get run down, has the self-heal, but now it's just going to be too much damage. He will get taken out. Ninja gets himself the pick off, but it's Liquid looking at Baron.
That's what we were talking about when Team Liquid spread out. Envy going to collapse here, use that assassination. Now they teleport in.
Okay, it'll be a 4v4. It's going to be a late show up for the Malzahar. Silver ulti in, a slow from Seraph looking for damage, but Matt pops the ult. He'll stay alive for now as the team runs away from the curtain call. And no reception at the very end there as Frox is going to dodge away from that final shot. Envy now with a bit of a tempo lead, 23 seconds on Phoenix's respawn, and they caught him off. Oh, and several flashes for Liquid not to get picked off right there. That was a nice cutoff by Envy, but it still means they have this huge wave. They've got a cannon. They have some chances to deal damage to this turret.
And that's actually a very important flash. The Alistar flash is a huge playmaking tool for Team Liquid and for Matt, especially being the point man. Here we go, though. No minions are trying to burn down the turret. It gets the extra armor.
Oh,
away!
Thankfully, he has armor. That could have been real risky. It's Envy forced to run away. Sadly, did not get as much as they wanted, but here comes the Phoenix flank. He's home guarding in. This could be Lorlo closing out the game on this spike as they've caught off Ninja, and that is a dead Malzahar. Jint is dominating, and in the back lines, yes, Phoenix picked off Seraph as well, so it's a 5v3, and Liquid have a lot of room to play with.
I mean, the minion wave is coming up mid, but the top lane is already there with like a triple minion wave stacked on the inhibitor turret already.
There's going to be a lot of damage. I think inhibitor at least 30 seconds on the solo laners to respawn. 5 versus 3. Health bar is big enough that Envy can't push them off. So the real question is exactly how much does Liquid get? 20 seconds now on the respawn timers. The inhibitor is going to go down, and their motion looks like going backwards, and they will retreat. Should be no threat from the Envy squad. Their teleports are down, and Liquid can easily reset, drop the wards, and if they recall now, they can actually show up in time to contest Baron if Envy want to try to rush it.
Definitely agree. They're clearing out a couple of the wards as they leave. Didn't quite see that pink, but they've got most of the control here. Let's see, no sweeper. Oh, Matt does have his sweeper as well. He could sweep on the pixel bush, and I think they just pinged it. Not going to be the case, though. Envy, try and get something back, though. You know, remain cool. Like you talked about before, always looking for that objective to trade, even though this time it's a much lesser objective. Got to take what you can get.
Yeah, absolutely the case. We watch this fight again, and it's the chase back by Liquid. Envy overstep going for mid lane tier 2, and here comes the dive.
Lorlo goes in for the flash to try and get that slow, plus sets up Jint for the snare. Good deadly flourish there, allows them to get both solo laner kills. And as you know, turned out being the inhibitor. Now, they've got top lane pressure that's going to happen with the super minions, plus vision control over Baron. And mid lane secondary here is very low already.
Yeah, I think Liquid are going to say, you know, with the inhibitor down, we can probably play the siege game well enough. Not going to risk the Baron attempt, at least not just yet. Mid lane tier 2 is easy. Rapid fire cannon Jhin tends to hit turrets pretty hard, so walk in, land the auto attack, walk away. Looks like the pieces of either Infinity Edge or Lord Dominic's Regard is going to be next up, so he's going to have an even easier time knocking down tanks. And after his next 2,000 to 3,000 gold, Seraph in the front line takes a bit of damage. Root's going to land actually on a Hakuho. Takes up a little bit of that, but Envy's going to be okay. No recalls just yet. It's Liquid once again splitting up the map a little here and figuring out what they can take down. Of course, they've got Pink control over Baron. They're going to start moving members over there. Lorlo does have teleport. Phoenix does not. So Phoenix gets pulled in. Lorlo can stay towards the bottom lane.
Oh, they're coming. Everybody from Envy's coming out looking like they want to take this fight. I mean, this would be one of the last chances you have. Try and steal away Baron, maybe.
Here comes the attempt. Curtain call in. Lorlo on the flank, but he gets almost assassinated. Guardian Angel popped off for this one. Curtain call's now done. Silence is going to land, and they will kill off the Echo. Hakuho gets one already. Lorlo never got a chance to. Oh, Jint's very low as well. Seraph nearly takes him out. It's a 5v4, and Envy walk back in. Oh, nearly takes him over the force pulls. He's got so little health. The sniper's not going to land. Proxen can't get it. It's the retreat still, but another 3-man slow out from Seraph. Matt's running out of HP. His ult's going to time out soon enough, and this could be a very big fight for Envy. Proxen trying to land the snipe. There's two with so little HP, and sadly cannot pick off those last members of Liquid. But it's a 5-on-3 and the chance to make some plays.
Very big comeback here from Team Envy. Can they complete it and take the Baron? It looks like it's only Phoenix going to try and 1v5 in the Baron.
It's a bit of a risk. Smite's going to go in, and Lod's going to last hit this one now. It's up to Phoenix getting a little bit of damage. Can't kill off Hakuho, and he's going to drop and lose his life. One Nexus turret did die to minions during all of this, so Liquid got a little bit more, but now Envy have the tools to start mounting the comeback.
Definitely a little bit of a hiccup here for Team Liquid as Envy make a very good last stand here. They have to come out and try and contest this. They all turn on Lorlo, immediately burst him down. No opportunity for him to get anything off in that CC chain. And then he's just running out, got the silence on him. Very, very nice. Seraph here goes for the flash while the exhaust is on him. So he disengages, and then he's able to go back in on Caston. It's very easy for Caston to chase this down. And they get him close enough here. Proxen goes up to get another knockup. And a couple of extra kills come in. Luckily for Team Liquid, Arcsecond and Jin survive there, because that could have been 2 extra kills over in addition to the Baron and the time that Team Envy had bought. Now remember, Team Envy also, they have this Sivir. Sivir now, after that fight, does get to that very important 3-item power spike.
Yeah.
And definitely has the possibility of taking over a team fight if left unattended.
Sure. I mean, Liquid's composition for the 5 are fairly short range. You should expect, actually, Ricochet to get very high value in this game. And in terms of games where Sivir does well, this is actually one of the best comps for her to be against. So this could be very, very good for Lod. Ninja, really do want to highlight how perfectly he played that last fight. Lorlo literally never had the chance to cast a spell in that entire battle. Silence into suppression, into silence off the Guardian Angel. Had a projectile in the air by the time he revived. Lorlo couldn't have hit R faster if he had tried. And so good stuff by him to set up that whole fight. And now Envy in the driver's seat, fighting back a gold deficit of 4,500. But you know they can make it happen. Top lane inhibitor respawning roughly now. Should be no more super minis left for Liquid as they look for top lane tier 2 as their primary target. Cass is splitting the bottom. Seraph does have teleport. He'll be met by Lorlo.
He has also hit the all-important level 16 for Cassidon. Lorlo gonna have to play a little bit defensively. Team Liquid right now just trying to hold on, wait till Baron times out, and Envy making up a lot of ground as far as the goal difference goes.
And Seraph's actually splitting back and forth, back and forth. He's the only teleport user on his team, so it's a 4-1, and Seraph goes back and forth trying to find which lane to push in. Right now it's mid lane, and the team's gonna rotate. Actually, they could maybe cut someone off. Hakuho gets a teammate to jump to, hops over the wall, and mid lane tier 2 should be dropping rapidly. Phoenix can't wave through this, and that's gonna be 1 turret so far picked up in the Baron power play for Envy.
Remember, Seraph has gone with a more split push build. He doesn't have that Zhonya's to be able to go in for the team fight, rely on the Zhonya's for his reset. Has to use his flash to disengage like we saw the last time.
Yeah.
Now they're just trying to wait that out. You know, try and get as much gold as you can by splitting while you have Baron buff, while you wait for your Cassidon flash to come back up, and try and have another repeat fight.
Absolutely the case. So only a little bit gained by Envy. Mountain Drake will respawn after Baron times out, and both of these teams have 1 Mountain Drake to their name, so whoever gets the third one gets the edge in terms of killing objectives faster. 10 seconds to go till it spawns up here. Liquid will have priority shoving in the mid lane. Top is going towards Liquid bot lane equivalent.
Yeah, the other big thing is that, setting up for that Drake, Team Liquid have control over Dragon area, so I feel like Envy doesn't want to fight over this. There's no reason to risk a losing team fight over a late game second Mountain Drake when really the next team fight is going to determine it anyway. That's not a huge difference in how much you're going to be able to kill the objectives. Got to kill the champions first, and Envy, they make that choice. They don't try and go for the Drake, and they try and get the third.
Great choice. This is absolutely a great choice. Mountain Drake helps you kill turrets, but how about you just kill the turret yourself? And Envy have brought the game back to 2,000 gold. They were getting slaughtered earlier. This game is completely in fighting distance.
I mean, the ability to turn around a game with one of those late game 30-minute team fights, if you get Baron right after, is just huge, especially for a team like this. Late game Kassadin, late game Sivir, they are very well equipped to make a comeback in this game, and now the gold difference is marginal, and it's all about the setup for the next team fight.
Yeah. So Jinth actually is not going for the more aggressive build. I thought it was going to be Lord Dominik's or maybe an Infinity Edge, but actually it's Hex Drinker, and then Maw of Mortis is what that. So the pickaxe just does nothing. That's actually not even part of Maw anymore as of like this year. So he realized late that was the build he wanted to go for. A bit of a mistake by him to buy the wrong item and not kind of predict his path, but he's more worried about not dying to Seraph, which makes sense. This cast is getting very, very big. A lot of farm. Level 17 means tons of damage, and he's got to be able to survive that.
Definitely make that heads up on the fly. Ooh, I got assassinated by Seraph last team fight, so want to avoid that next time around. They know it's all about the next one, and the difference in that Hex Drinker shield could very well mean a huge DPS increase by surviving.
And Laud, one of the best, well, Seraph specifically, Sivir, one of the very best Executioner's Calling users. It does trigger on physical damage, not specifically auto attack, so Ricochet will hit everybody, and unlike Morel and Amicon does not have the requirement of being low on health, so he's just gonna dump the healing down of all these self-healers on Liquid.
And it's really important versus this Team Liquid lineup. I mean, look at it across the board. Echo, Gragas, Vladimir, and Alistar. Definitely very good against all those champions. Here we go, though.
Bit of damage on Arc second down to 2/3. Here comes the chase in. Law pops the ulti. Here comes the re-engage, though. Praxi gets hit up. Ulti only hits one from Akuho, and here comes the fight in the back line. Goes Seraph. Gonna pop the Zonia's. Jinth, though, quite low, down to 500. Re-engage, though. Phoenix gets dropped down. Doesn't get a chance to flash, even Plague or anything. Chain CC'd, and the shutdown comes through. That's 3 for Envy. They're making the late game team fight work. I know Arc second has to run for dear life. There's no chance Liquid wins this. It's Lola going for the hero play, trying to buy some time, but he can't find anyone to kill. Just running out of HP. GA gets popped, and here comes the pending silence from Ninja, and that's to be the kill picked up. Not even a problem. Envy looking good. 4 for 0 in the 11th hour.
You can see the struggle there, trying to scramble as a late game Jhin versus the Sivir Kassadin late game, and not able to survive there, Team Liquid. They also use the exhaust really early on Ninja. The exhaust is one of the most important things for these late game team fights when you have assassins coming in, to try and take out your AD carry. And Team Envy, the possibility of the comeback was very real after the first team fight victory, but right here definitely cements it for them as they take control in a very, very big way.
Absolutely. 2 Barons in a row now, and a gold lead for Team Envy as we watch this comeback team fight.
Let's look at this flank as Morlo's in the bottom, you can see now, so his channel on the teleport has to take a long time, and Envy buy time for Seraph, as you can see, to flank on Jhin. Gets right in there, takes the majority of his life. Now he has the Zonias completed, so he was able to Zonias instead of flashing back out, and Proxon's the one that's able to clean that up as Frontline got demolished by Ninja's ultimate there with Malzahar. Get the pool on the ground, melt everybody with that percentage HP. He waited out the exhaust. The exhaust actually didn't do anything there. It just bought him maybe 2 seconds, and Ninja just waited, then used the ultimate on Phoenix, and very clean team fight there from Team Envy. And this was, the questions that we posed after the very strong early game for Team Liquid.
And they got out team fought several times in a row now, and Envy now sitting in the driver's seat with his Baron buff. Thing is, they're still missing a Nexus turret. Like, one good team fight, Liquid actually just wins the game by going top. There's almost nothing to stop them, but...
Whoa!
Engage in Arc second, looking for the knockout, looking for the damage up, and they're going to kick him out. Wow! Another pickup there for Envy. 5v4 curtain call means nothing to these tanks. Prox with a nice dodge at the end right there. Jhin doesn't get much done against Seraph either, and as the new wave comes in, someone should walk back and grab the wave, buff it up, make it run faster, and then
Yeah,
they can
I
knock
mean,
down mid and hip.
they're opting for the 3-lane split push here, 1-3-1 with Rek'Sai up top, so just cleaning up all that extra gold that's been sitting there. Take down the secondary turret first as they start to whittle away on all 3 inhibitor turrets.
4,500 in the lead as Team Envy as they push all these waves in. Proxen says, hi, I'm a level 18 Rek'Sai. We're fine here. Phoenix, I'm not really afraid of you. Mid lane losing health as well, and Seraph was squaring off with Lorlo.
Arc second is up in 8 seconds though. If they can get him to the fight and Envy mess up a dive, Team Liquid also could still turn this around. No rush here from Envy though. They don't go for a risky dive.
Ooh, they almost got the silence on the Phoenix. That could have been a flash knock, but it won't happen right now. Instead, they're going to go in for the inhibitor itself as they push the mid laner away. Phoenix out of HP, and that's going to be the first inhibitor kill of the game for Team Envy as they rotate back into the mid lane as that turret's gone as well. Arc Second silence, ulted just as soon as he respawns into the chain CC, and deja vu! Arc Second's gone as fast as his name implies, and now Phoenix has to run away as his teammates are all dying around him. It's a 5v2 as Envy are going to look to close out the first game of the series in a pretty incredible comeback win. Seraph playing his 20th champion of the split, the Kassadin, pretty instrumental in the win as Phoenix running out of HP. A quick trade kill comes in for Lorlos. He tries to fight for his next to keep it alive, but Azonius buys a bit more time. Down he goes, a rampage for Laud, and there's just no one left to keep Phoenix in this game. His Nexus will fall without him, and that's going to be 18-18.